Welcome to Cornucopia of Thought. So, First of all, let me explain why I decided to do a vlog as my, chosen form of communication. So, I was thinking about it, and I had been thinking about making some form of podcast for a while, and it came up with the name Cornucopia of Thought. So I decided, okay, well, here's a great opportunity to start it off. Um, so when I first got the news that I was going to be doing this presentation on this upcoming Tuesday, I thought to myself, okay, how am I going to do this? So I had pre-selected a couple warm-ups to choose from because I just thought they were really interesting, and we had very interesting conversations um, about them. So the first thing I did is I spread out all my sources that I was going to need because I had this nice little rubric here that I had to follow, and found the sources. One of the things that I ran into is I scheduled my time, but I didn't follow through with it, so I ended up not, this is kind of last minute. Anyway, and I just felt working alone was easier because I can just do this whenever and it's not constrained to any time stuff. But I still ran into time problems. So I'm going to read the warm-up question, which I think is something around the lines of, we can already choose, say, did John Procter find his goodness, John Procter from The Crucible? Yes or no. We can say that, but then the question went on to say, okay, well, who gets to decide that? So I'm titling this video, John Procter and Judgement. In class, we talked about a lot of interesting things, but my first decision was to say, well, God is the only person who could judge John Procter. But the issue is that we're in the context of a story here, so in the story, who gets to judge John Procter? I think that we can, as readers, we can justly judge him. Well, not really justly, because no one can really truly judge anyone else. But we can say, yeah, he found his goodness, or no, he found that he didn't find his goodness, and support each claim. But I think that in the story itself, he's the one who's deciding whether he found his goodness or not. There's an interesting poem that I'm not going to read the whole poem, by Langston Hughes. No, wait, this is the wrong poem. That's a different poem. Too many poems. Man, where did I put this poem? Okay. I remember it because I used it on my in-class essay, and it basically is talking about how each American has their own song that they're singing. The carpenter sings his song, and the mother sings her song, and the mason sings his song, and I'm talking about the bricklayer, not the cult. And well, I'm sure that the cult is also singing their own song in their own little way. So, and I had this idea, and I saw how it actually kind of related to what I was saying in class here. How,
all these people have their own idea of what is right for themselves, and it actually also correlates with James Truslow Adams' definition of the American dream, where he says everyone will quote be able to attain the fullest statute of which they're innately capable. Now you may be thinking to yourself, well, what the bumper you're talking about? He never says anything about your own personal idea of the dream. But who gets to judge what you are innately capable of? I'm just saying, the best judge of who's innately capable of something, aside from God, is yourself. The real question then is it right? Is judging yourself and saying, oh, I did the right thing, is that correct? Because you're standing there, and you're John Procter, and you're about to be sentenced to death, and you'd say to yourself, I did the right thing. Well, I quote the Bible on you and say, every man's ways are right in his own eyes.
So let's think about it for a second. John Procter certainly thinks himself to be the judge of his own story. I mean, in the end, he's basically taking his own life into his hands and saying, I can't give this up and tell a lie. He's being his own judge. But, is that right? Is being your own judge correct? I think no. I don't think that humans are possibly, they're not able to judge themselves correctly. Because we're humans. We are the stuff that dreams are made on. And our fragile life is rounded with a sleep. But okay, here's a hype. Maybe you're saying to yourself, oh, well, we can do pretty gosh darn close to being able to judge ourselves. Well, I quote Act 3, Scene 3, line 87 of Hamlet on you for that one. You can research that in your own time. Humans can't really judge themselves. They can try. You constantly do it. You're constantly saying to yourself, oh man, I could have done better. I'm so much worse than this person. Or vice versa, where you're saying, oh, that person's so stupid. What are they doing? I can't believe that they would say that type of thing. That's so stupid. Why are they doing that? It's an interesting thought. So in the end, I think we can safely say that in the book, John Procter is his own judge. But then the question there remains, and I'm not going to answer this for you. Did he judge right? Read the book, if you haven't. If you have, cite your evidence for your claim, please. We can't be having, you can't be saying things without evidence. It'd be crazy. I'm gonna see if I missed anything on the rubric. Yeah, I think that's just about everything. Well, I hope I see you again on Cornucopia of Thought soon. I'm gonna go edit this gosh darn video now. Peace out.